All right, let's just jump right in. We've always had this kind of one-sided story about our dogs, right? But what if I told you science is now uncovering secrets about their minds? Secrets that are going to completely change how you see that furry friend sitting right there next to you.
I mean, it's the one question every single dog owner asks, isn't it? You're chatting away, their head is cocked, they're looking right at you, but you can't help but wonder, what are they actually thinking?
Well, here's the first bombshell. It's not the words, it's not English they're learning, no. They're listening to the music of your voice.
Right. So let's get past the barks and the whines. We're going to tune into the incredible symphony your dog is hearing every single time you open your mouth.
Okay, so some amazing research from places like Yale and Harvard help us break this all down. You say sit, right? To your dog, that's not a word. It's a specific musical note, like hitting a key on a piano. You say good boy in that happy voice. They're not hearing the words. They're feeling the emotion behind the sound. But their name? Their name is different. That's a priority one alarm. It cuts through everything else. It's a survival sound.
And this is how tuned in they really are. Get this, your dog can pick out 21 different emotions just from the sound of your voice. Now think about that for a second. We humans, we usually only recognize, what, 7? They're hearing an entire emotional landscape in our speech that we are completely deaf to. But, our voice, that's only half the conversation. Your dog has been using this whole other language, a complex, silent dictionary that, let's be honest, most of us have been completely missing. Okay, think about this. You walk in the door and your dog does that big, long stretch. You probably think, oh, they're just waking up. Nope, that is a formal welcome home ceremony, something straight out of their ancient wolf culture. Or what about the play bow? When they put their front paws down and their butt in the air? That's basically them signing a contract that says, hey, everything that happens next is just practice, so don't take it seriously. And this silent dictionary, it gets super specific. You see a quick lip lick? That's not hunger. That's, I'm uncomfortable. The side eye? That's a big old, I don't trust this situation. That full body shake when they're not even wet? That's a literal emotional reset button. And a curved body? That's the universal dog language for I come in peace.
So here's the kicker. Studies show that dogs have about 67 distinct body signals they use. And the average owner, we recognize maybe 5 of them. Just do the math. We're missing 92% of the conversation. It's like we're only hearing every 10th word.
And all of this incredible communication, it all builds up to something even more primal, something, frankly, kind of shocking, their instinct to protect us.
You know all those things we think are just cute little quirks? Turns out they're part of what experts call a military-grade protection protocol. Seriously, these are not random. When your dog puts themselves between you and the door, that's a tactical move. When they sleep facing the doorway, that's to cut down their response time. Walking ahead of you up the stairs, they're clearing the path for you. They are running security 24/7. And let's be clear, their sensory equipment is way beyond anything we have. Think of it like this. They can hear an intruder coming a full 6 minutes before we do. They can smell a spike of adrenaline, that fear scent, from 50 feet away. So that time your dog barked at nothing, oh no, trust me, they heard something, or they smelled something you absolutely could not. But this bond, it goes so much deeper than just physical protection. It's chemical. It's invisible. We're just now starting to understand how our dogs are actively, literally, changing our biology. They're healing us from the inside out. This is what some call the healing protocol. You know when you're stressed out at your desk and your dog just keeps nudging you and it feels kind of annoying? That's a deliberate pattern interrupt. When you're feeling down and they suddenly need to go for a walk, that's not a distraction, that's a prescription. They can sense the chemical changes in your body that happen right before an anxiety attack or a PTSD episode, and they step in to stop it before it even gets bad. And we can see the proof in our own brains. This isn't just some warm, fuzzy feeling. It is a massive chemical event happening inside your head. Just hanging out with your dog can spike oxytocin, that's the love hormone, by 300%. Dopamine, the pleasure chemical, up 200%. And at the exact same time, cortisol, the stress hormone, plummets by over a third. They're basically your own personal four-legged pharmacist. Okay, this next part might be the most mind-blowing thing of all. Research from Johns Hopkins found that this connection is so powerful that just 3 minutes of petting your dog is enough to change your gene expression. I mean, let that sink in. They are literally flipping the switches on your DNA, turning stress genes off and happiness genes on. They're changing who you are on a molecular level.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most profound piece of the puzzle. It's about how dogs experience time itself and how that leads to their very last gift to us.
Okay, brace yourself for this one. It's a concept called time smell. The idea is your dog doesn't need a clock on the wall. Why? Because they can smell time. Seriously. Your unique scent fades in your house all day at a predictable rate, so they know you're coming home soon, not because they can read a clock, but because your morning scent has faded to just the right level. They live in a 4D world where time is just another smell they can track.
And knowing that, it makes their final days even more meaningful. You ever wonder why older dogs can get so clingy? Well, the theory is that they know their time is short and they enter this race against their own fading memory. They're trying to absorb every last detail of you, create as many memories as possible, because they're not afraid of death. What they're terrified of is forgetting you.
And then, often, there's this one last act. Vets see it all the time. In their final hours, a dog will summon the last of its strength to bring their human their favorite toy. And it's not because they want to play one last time, no. They're giving you their most prized possession. They're giving you a container full of their happiest memories. It's a transfer of joy. And even after they're gone, that connection is still there, physically, in your brain. Neuroscience from UCLA has shown that it takes our brain's neural pathways about 127 days to even begin to accept that they're gone. So if you think you see them out of the corner of your eye or hear their paws on the floor, you're not going crazy. That's just your brain still firing along the super highways it built just for. So you see, this bond was never just in your heart. It's biological. It's architectural. Your dog literally etched themselves into the physical structure of your brain. They left behind a map that death can't erase. They've been broadcasting on every channel this whole time. Vocal, physical, chemical, emotional. So the real question was never, what is my dog thinking? The real question is, now that you know all this, are you finally ready to listen?